Happy Saturday, friends. I gotta be honest, I didn't pay attention. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
I got this from our good friend Harrison. Yeah, Harrison at Static Tape Video. Happy Saturday. That's right. It's not Friday. Boy, did I make a mistake. And we're going to get all into it. This is a deep dive into the final chapter of the Dollars trilogy from the Arrow box set. All right. I made a mistake and I'm paying for it today. But first, let's give a huge shout out to Nerdy Wife. I got to tell you, look what she found. Cheese pizza. Mike's Hot Honey cheese pizza. I love Mike's Hot Honey on anything. I can't afford to buy Mike's Hot Honey. But if a restaurant has something, like Jersey Mike's has a Mike's Hot Honey sandwich, love that thing, right? Marco's Pizza has a Mike's Hot Honey drizzled pizza. It's messy as all get out because it's so sticky. Delightful. In case you're wondering. Now, a little bit of a heads up. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. When I started this process yesterday, I assumed, that's my bad, I assumed this was just like the other two. And it had a disc of the movie, a disc of the special features, and away we go. Well, when I sat down and opened it up to put it in the player, I did not realize that this has two 3-hour versions of the movie, one bonus disc of features, and one disc of a documentary that has to do with Sad Hill, the cemetery from the movie, where in 2015, 16-ish, from 2011 to 2015 or 16-ish, they restored that cemetery from the climax of this movie. 9 hours I was in front of the TV watching everything, including the commentaries. Well, one of the commentaries and half of a different one. So we're going to get all into it. First, let's take a look at the movie. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. 1966, rated R, 2 hours and 58 whole minutes. Directed by Sergio Leone. Written by Luciano Vincenzoni. Sergio Leone. Agenor Incroci. But I think they just called him Age. Like that was, I don't know. Starring Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef again, and Eli Wallach, who steals the show. Let's get into it. This movie's different. The first movie was a simple 1 hour and 40-minute story, easy to, in small bits and pieces, easy to enjoy, low budget film. The second movie was more complicated, 2 hours and 12 minutes of extremely complex storytelling. Fantastic. With triple the budget. The first movie, the budget was $200,000. Second movie, $600,000. This movie, it was like either 1.2 or 1.3 million. And they were like, well, how about 3 hours, y'all? And this, for the first time ever in my life, for 3 hours watching it, at no point did I feel like it dragged. At no point, yes, there are scenes that Leone did that are longer than theoretically they have to be. But the art of the way he tells the story, it was perfectly fine and enjoyable and not really noticeable. So let's take a look real quick at what's in here. You got the slipcover. I'm going to go through this quick. All right. You got the hard shell, of course, with the nice artwork. You got a booklet. That's not the front. That's the front. Beautiful. You got a poster, which I'm not opening up. And then you have the movies. Now, I will tell you, disc 1, this is a 4K, the international cut. It's like 277 minutes. It's almost 3 hours. Then you've got a 4K of the extended cut, which is the 2 hours and 58 minutes. Then you've got a disc of extras. It's a Blu-ray, region locked to be. And then you have the actual, like a full disc of extras and the documentary about restoring the cemetery from the climax of this movie. And it's also a region locked Blu-ray. The cover is double-sided as well. So there's a lot more to this. But yet, I didn't pay a lot more. I got this from our good buddy Harrison, of course, at Static Tape Video. You guys know the deal. That's my go-to. If I'm looking for something, if he can't find it, he knows who can. I did not pay a lot extra for this third one. And theoretically, this has a ton more than the other two. This is a 4-disc set. So here's the story, friends. And just a quick note from our friends over at Blackout Coffee Company. Make sure you head over and give them a try. Links in the description. You got the good, who is Clint Eastwood. The bad is Lee Van Cleef. And the ugly is Eli Wallach. Eli Wallach just literally steals the show. Right? He does a fantastic job in this movie, and he's nuts. Lee Van Cleef is a terribly bad character in this movie. And Clint Eastwood is, once again, the man with no name, even though he does have a name in all 3 movies. 3 different names. In this, they call him Blondie. Lee Van Cleef's name is Angel Eyes. And Eli Wallach is Tuco. And here's the story, right? These 3 guys, their stories are intertwined. This is a prequel to A Fistful of Dollars, and therefore also a prequel to For a Few Dollars More. So this actually takes place before the other 2 movies, and it works. It works really well. But anyway, these 3 guys end up trying to find a box of $200,000 during the Civil War that's been hidden. And Tuco and Blondie have been working a scam together, and that sours. And then the rest of the rest of the movie, Tuco is trying to kill Blondie, and Angel Eyes is just killing everybody, right? There's some language in this one. There's also the bare bottom of Eli Wallach momentarily as he's getting out of a bathtub. A bubble bath, to be factual about it. This movie not only looks fantastic, the 4K, the restoration is beautiful. The music is fantastic. And the story just blends together perfectly. Truthfully, this is probably the best of the 3. Now, I liked all 3 of them. The same Volante played one of the bad guys in the other 2 movies, and in the first movie, I thought he was a much better character that he played than in the second one. But both movies, prior to this one went together really well. I fully understand why there was some confusion that this was a trilogy about one person. And with this movie, they solidified that by throughout most of this movie, Clint Eastwood is dressed a different way than in the other two movies. And then at the end, right before the climax, he finds the poncho and puts the poncho on and is dressed like he is in the other two movies. So by the third movie, they just went with it. We're like, okay, whatever. All right. And it works. This is by far the best movie. I enjoy the first one for the simplicity and just a simple, good, or well-told story. And the second one, the more complex layers that they build with, the characters are wonderful, except for Volante. I thought he just didn't do as good in that one as he did in the first one. I didn't like that character. But the story itself, the layers and the characters, works great. Everything about it is the perfect storm of just a wonderful and well-rounded story where nobody's good necessarily, right? Like these are like Clint Eastwood is an anti-hero. He's just a dude. And he has a moral compass, but he's not necessarily a good guy all the time. There's something magical about this movie. And I would even go so far as to say, if you can find this box set, you should definitely buy it. If you don't buy any of the others, the documentary about the cemetery, how in today, like at the 50-year mark, the 50-year anniversary of this movie, they restored it. I can't tell you how fantastic that was. Some of it's in English. A majority of this stuff is in Spanish or Italian. Sorry, Italian. But it's worth reading subtitles to see all the special features. The commentaries were fantastic in this set. Now, I did not watch the 162-minute international cut because the 179-minute extended cut has all that stuff plus some, right? So I wasn't going to take another 3 hours to watch the international version. I watched the American version that's been restored, it's basically a director's cut of the movie. The way it was originally, like, the design of it is the way Leone wanted it. And it's fantastic. It is a long watch, and there's no intermission. Like, I did stop it halfway through and take a few minutes break because 3 hours, it's a long time to sit there, right? But edge of your seat the whole time. Tons of fun. Of the 3 box sets, this was my favorite because there was so much put into it. The special features, the restoration, the documentary. This was a solid amount of stuff for the price it cost. Well done, Arrow. I'm going to give it to you right there. That's the best one. I'm glad I have all 3, and I'm glad I watched them all this week. I have one more Leone film that I own, and that's Once Upon a Time in the West, I think it is. Maybe. Yeah. I haven't watched that. I've never seen it. But this made me want to buy the other 2 films of his and look more into spaghetti westerns. They are super fun, and the titles are hilarious. And a lot of work was put into these, and you can tell. Leone was brilliant. All right, it's time to officially start the weekend. A day late and $1 short, friends. We will be back on Monday, if all goes well. Thanks for sticking with us, y'all. For Michael, the microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat nerd. We'll see you next week.